this video, I'm going to use wget to download a text file that has this little poem in it, Mary Had a Little Lamb, that you see on the screen. And then I'm going to use bash script to read it in 3 ways. I'm going to read it line by line. I'm going to read it character by character. I'm going to read it word by word. Okay, I'm going to show you a little bit about this file. I should download it perhaps. There are no spaces at the end of the lines. I think there may be a blank line. I have it deleted here. I have code at the bottom that's deleting the file. Let me comment that out and not delete the file so that we can look at the file when we're done running the script for the first time. Okay, so I have established the URL. I'm using wget to get the file at that URL. I'm using the -q option, which is quiet, so we're not going to see any output from wget. So this part will be, as I say, quiet. Then I'm going to get the use base name to get, when it downloads the file into the current working directory, it's going to be called poem.txt, and then that file, the file variable is going to be, when I use base name, it's just going to be poem.txt. First, I'm going to read it line by line. So I have this while loop from 7 to 10. I am putting the file into, putting it into the while loop and reading the lines. And then I'm echoing out that line and also echoing out yeah, 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 so that you will see I'm not reading the whole poem, but I am reading it line by line because I'll be interspersing the yeah, yeah, yeah after each line. In this while loop 14 to 16, I'm once again reading in the file, but this time with this -n1 option of read, I will be breaking it into, the 1 is for 1 character, so I'll be breaking it up into individual characters 1 by 1, and I'm echoing them out along with, I'm using the -n option of echo, so I will not be putting it on a new line. And then I'm going to, in addition to echoing out the character, I will be echoing out a slash. So we will see the slashes between the characters. And it will be, as I say here in my comment, or that's not a comment, but a printout, then it is a little bit weird on white space that the white space that was in there will not, it sort of recognize that it's there by having an extra slash, but it will not show me that character. And my third option down here, I'm using, instead of read, I am using cat. So cat is going to sort of by default break the content of the file using white space delimiter. And so it's going to break it in, there are not only spaces or white space at the end of the lines, but there are white space between words. So it's going to break it into words. That sort of all that breaking down happens here. So then it's a for loop rather than a while loop. And again, I am echoing out all the results, the $word, using a vertical bar delimiter. -n means no new line. And so I'm going to download this file, read it 3 times, line by line, character by character, word by word. I have stopped the removal so we can look at the file briefly at this stage. Okay, so let me run it. So we see here first reading line by line. So the line of the poem, Mary had a little lamb, and then yeah, yeah, yeah. That space is there in my echo. So that's nothing funky. Here's the character by character, M/A/R/, and here we see that where there was a space, Mary space had space, a little lamb. We're not seeing the space. We are seeing the slash corresponding to that goes with the space, but not the space. And this is that Reed does some parsing, and the white space and the end of line character are treated differently than they're treated differently by the read operation than, say, just a normal printing character. And then down here, I'm using, I say read, just describing what I'm doing. I'm reading the file word by word, but I did use instead cat instead of read. And again, it used white space as a delimiter and automatically broke it into words. I can make read similarly do that. Then I can read an array based on a certain delimiter, but I used cat because sort of there's less work. Cat does it automatically. And again, I added sort of a vertical bar delimiter just to see where things were. And we see, as we expect with cat, we are using the white space explicitly as a delimiter here. So we don't expect to see the white space because it was used as a delimiter, but that happened also a little bit up here. Okay, let's have a look at the file. I said I wanted to show you the file briefly. And so I have it in documents, and it was home. And I just want to show that there's no spaces at the end of these lines that can make a difference. And I thought there was a blank line at the bottom, but there is not. So that's what the file looks like. And I've seen times again with this sort of weirdness of the white space with read, that if the behavior of a file can, whether it's easy to read or difficult to read, can depend on sort of, is there a space at the end of the line? And especially with going back and forth between sort of Windows systems and Linux systems, where the new line character is different between those systems. So it can be important sometimes. I'm keeping it simple in this example, but just raising issues of weird things that can happen. Okay, so that was the poem I wanted to show you. Now I'm going to delete the poem because I want to run the script with one more change. What am I trying to do? Move to trash. Fine. Okay, I wanted to make one change here, and I just wanted to sort of show you this one change by changing it to 2 to show you what that does. So I can read the file. I was reading it character by character. I can read it 2 characters at a time. Let's say it was some hex code or something, and I wanted to read two hex code characters at a time for whatever reason. I can do that by playing with this parameter here. Let me run the clear. Let me run it again. And now I am reading 2 characters at a time. And again, this was this would have been space H, and the space is weird, but it's still in the count. It was not ignored in the count. So there was space H, but we're not seeing it here in the echo. So All right. So that's what I wanted to show you. Read line by line, read character by character, or two characters by two characters, or, three at a time, four at a time, whatever you want, or reading a word by word, using cat instead of read. I can make read do what cat does, but it was easier just to use cat. Okay, that's what I wanted to show you. Thanks much for your attention.